I used to scroll past those messy, public breakup stories online, smugly thinking, thank God that's not me. But here I am, Claire, hands still shaking days later because what happened next shattered everything I thought I knew about my life and my boyfriend. This isn't just a story. It's a raw, painful confession of how one person's betrayal pushed me to my absolute breaking point. Our relationship wasn't some whirlwind romance. It was just normal. But that all changed last month when Peter started acting like I was a ghost. He'd be glued to his phone, endlessly scrolling through forums about watches and sneakers, completely ignoring me. I'd ask if he wanted lunch, and he'd barely grunt, "Not hungry. Let's just chill," only to sneak out later and come back with takeout. I genuinely thought he was depressed, burnout, anything but what was actually happening. Then the insidious little comments started. "You never let things go, Claire. Can you not right now? I just want to relax." Each one was a tiny cut, making me question myself. But then he'd pull me into a cuddle at night or hug me from behind while I made coffee, leaving me utterly confused. Was he stressed? Was it me? I told myself I needed to back off, give him space. Looking back, I should have seen the red flags when he started ditching my family dinners. My mom called him out once for not helping set the table, and he sulked the entire night. After that, he was always busy, always needing time to reset. My sister, Veronica, thought he was being a baby, but like an idiot, I kept defending him. "He's just tired," I'd say. "He's not good with people." Blah, blah, blah. Last Friday, I was at a ceramics class with my best friend, Sophia. We were covered in clay, laughing, totally oblivious. I got home around 9 p.m., gross and ready for a shower and some junk food. Peter was on the couch, lights off, his face illuminated only by his phone screen. He looked up and said, "Can we talk?" That tone, you know that tone. It's never, ever good. I sat down, still in my ugly, clay-stained sweats, and he let out this dramatic sigh, like he was preparing for a Shakespearean tragedy. "I don't mean to be harsh," he started, "but I feel like you're draining me." I actually laughed. I thought he was joking. Who talks like that outside of a therapy session? But his face was stone cold. He kept going, saying he needed a break from all this. He needed to remember what freedom felt like. He needed space. No texts, no calls, just time to clear his head. And then he stood up, grabbed his already packed duffel bag, which, stung, and just walked out. Didn't even look at me. No hug. Nothing. Just the brutal slam of the door. I sat there numb. This isn't real, I thought. He'll text in 10 minutes, say he's sorry, he's just tired. But nothing. The apartment was deafeningly silent. I showered, ate cereal, and called Veronica, who immediately went off, calling him a man-child. She said I should dump him first, but I just felt empty. I half expected him to crawl into bed later, like he always did after a fight. But that side of the bed stayed cold all night long. The silence was agonizing. The next morning, Saturday, I woke up to 3 missed calls from Sophia, which was instantly weird. She never calls. "Claire," she said, her voice frantic, "have you seen Peter's Instagram story?" I hadn't. I was stupidly trying to respect his space. She sent me screenshots, and I swear I don't know how to explain what I saw without sounding unhinged. The first was a fancy hotel room, city skyline view. Then a table at a restaurant Peter had never taken me to, 2 wine glasses, a big steak, a tiny dessert. And then a boomerang, someone's hand with a distinctive chunky bracelet clinking his glass. Not mine, not Veronica's, not Sophia's, definitely not his mom's. My stomach dropped. I scrolled through my own camera roll, just to be sure. I knew that bracelet. It was Gianna's, his ex from 3 years ago. She was obsessed with chunky jewelry. I remembered being insecure about her showing up in his stories when we first started dating. And then, the one that made my blood run cold, a shot of the hotel nightstand, with her perfume bottle. That weird, crystal-shaped one she used to post about constantly when she was an influencer. I hated it. Smelled like cheap candy. In the background, barely audible, was her laugh. Just a little, but it was her. I'd know it anywhere. Gianna was married now, last I heard. But I guess that didn't stop her. The rage hit me like a physical blow. I texted Peter, going off. "Are you really so pathetic you had to run back to your ex? Is this the freedom you wanted?" He left me on read for hours. When he finally replied, it was a paragraph of gaslighting nonsense. Don't embarrass yourself. I told you I needed space. Go work on your jealousy. I'm just catching up with an old friend. The audacity. I called Veronica, shaking with anger. Do not let this man play you, she commanded. Don't fight Gianna. She's not worth it. But don't let Peter make you the bad guy. I asked if I was crazy. No, she said. This is classic deflection. He knows he's wrong, so he's turning it on you. Veronica's bluntness was exactly what I needed. Later that day, Vincent, a friend of Peter's who always hated drama, met me. He asked if I was okay, said he saw Peter at the hotel bar, looking like a kid who just got away with stealing candy. I asked who Peter was with. Vincent replied, I didn't want to get involved, but it's not a good look, Claire. It stung, even though I already knew. I knew people would say, maybe he was innocent, just friends. But nobody goes to a 5-star hotel with their married ex and posts it on Instagram unless they want to be seen. Gianna's whole thing was always being the one who got away. She used to brag about it. And Peter? He's always chasing something. Gets bored if life is too easy. He even told me once he felt meant for more. I think he just likes drama. Saturday night, silence from Peter. My mom texted, asking if he was coming to Sunday dinner. No, I replied he needed space. She called immediately. Are you okay? I said I was fine, just tired. She offered to come over, but I told her no. I needed to figure out my next move. You don't have to tolerate being treated badly, Claire, she said. I knew she was right, but it was still hard. By Sunday morning, my sadness had curdled into a cold, hard anger. I didn't want him back. I just wanted him to know he couldn't walk all over me, then play the sad boy on Insta. I cleaned the apartment, put all his stuff in a pile by the door, not throwing it out, just making it clear he wasn't welcome. I texted him, your stuff is here. Come get it. He left me on read again, so I put it all in a trash bag and left it by the door. When he finally came by Sunday evening, he didn't even look me in the eye. He just grabbed his stuff. You're being dramatic, he muttered. You're being a coward, I shot back. He mumbled something under his breath and reached for his headphones on the table. I slapped his arm away. Don't touch me, he snarled. Then get out, I said. Some people would say I should have tried to talk, been the bigger person. But I was done. I didn't owe him politeness when he was treating me like a backup plan. If I was draining, he could go recharge somewhere else. I was left with a mess. Veronica let me crash at her place. Sophia tried to distract me with memes. But this wasn't even the craziest part. I knew I wasn't going to let him just walk away like nothing happened. I had a plan. If Peter wanted drama, I was going to give him drama. By the way, if you're still with me, riding this emotional roller coaster, please hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. Trust me, it gets wild. It's been a week since I made that vow. I'm still at Veronica's place. Her cat has officially adopted my suitcase. Every forgotten sock, every stupid mug of Peter's I find in my apartment just ignites a fresh spark of fury. The thing that was killing me wasn't just that he left, it was that he made me feel crazy for noticing. He sat me down in my living room, called me draining, told me to work on my jealousy. Less than 24 hours later, he's at a 5-star hotel with Gianna, who again is married, and he's acting like I'm the unstable one. I know what I saw. I know what I heard in the background of those stories. It's the little things that solidify it. Like opening Veronica's fridge and realizing I didn't have to mentally count how many eggs to leave for Peter or if there was enough oat milk for his stupid smoothie habit. Plugging in my phone and realizing I didn't have to hide my charger from someone who'd borrow it every night and never put it back. Those small moments, they make it real. He'd left half his stuff behind, an old hoodie, a pile of wires, his dumb coffee grinder. But I hadn't heard from him. His Instagram, though, that kept updating. More stories. Another hotel, this one with a rooftop pool. Another dinner, 2 plates, one with some seafood he always swore he hated. And then a video of a hand with bright red nails, clinking a glass. Gianna's nails were always that exact shade. I even checked her old posts to be sure. Call it psycho, but I had time on my hands. I was venting to Sophia, my sanity check. Claire, you know you're not crazy, right? Men love to gaslight. It's their Olympic sport. Even she had a flicker of doubt. Are you sure it's Gianna? Maybe it's some new girl. I didn't blame her. I doubted myself too. But then she offered, "Do you want me to watch his stories and screenshot anything weird?" "Yes," I said, obviously. So that's how I ended up with a folder full of receipts. Hotel views, her bracelet, her perfume, those red nails, the wine, the faint laughter. All public. All for show. I started to think he was doing this on purpose, trying to make me jealous. Or just showing off for Gianna. And why was she even in town? She'd moved 2 states away after getting married. I did some light stalking, don't judge me. And her husband, Curtis, was still posting sunny beach pictures on his own page, tagging her, all smiles, completely oblivious. That's when my anger really ignited. If it was just Peter clowning around, whatever. But Gianna, she loved drama. She'd always start stuff just to see how people would react. Back when Peter and I first started dating, she'd comment little inside jokes on his pictures. Always slightly flirty, but never enough for me to call her out without looking insane. I used to let it slide. Not anymore. I decided I wanted proof, not just for me. I wanted Curtis to know. Yeah, it was petty. I didn't care. If my relationship was going up in flames, I wasn't going to be the only one catching heat. I didn't want to be that girl, but I'd been the understanding girlfriend for too long. If she was going to play messy, I could play messy, eh? The problem was, I barely knew Curtis. Sophia was hesitant. "Are you sure you want to do this?" she asked. "Maybe you should just let it go." But I couldn't. I needed to not feel powerless. She eventually understood and said she'd ask around for his contact info. Then, Vincent met me again. He said he'd seen Peter at the hotel with Gianna, and they were all over each other. He added, "Sorry if this hurts, but you should know." I thanked him, but told him I already knew. Then he said, "You should talk to Curtis." "I'm trying," I replied, "but it's not exactly easy." He offered Curtis's email, "But don't say it came from me. Promise." So, I sat at Veronica's kitchen table, laptop open, and typed out an email to Curtis. It took 5 tries. I didn't want to sound crazy, but I needed him to actually read it. I attached the screenshots, just a simple note. "I'm sorry to send this, but I think you deserve to know. I'm not trying to start a war. I just want the truth out there." My hand was shaking, but I hit send. I didn't hear back for 2 days. In the meantime, Peter posted an Instagram story. Black background, white text, snakes everywhere. "Trust no one." I laughed out loud. He was clearly talking about me, which was hilarious considering who was actually lying. Veronica said he was just mad I wasn't begging for him back. Sophia said he always loved playing the victim. He could keep playing. I was done being the audience. Finally, Curtis emailed me back. It was short. "Are you sure? How do you know it's her?" I understood. He didn't want to believe it. I sent more screenshots. Old pics from Gianna's account with the same bracelet, the same perfume bottle, those red nails. "I'm sorry," I wrote, "but I wouldn't lie about this." He didn't reply. But the next day, Peter's Instagram went private. And Gianna's too. Veronica said she's hiding. Sophia said maybe he confronted her. I didn't know. And honestly, I didn't care. I did what I had to do. Then, out of nowhere, Peter called. Not a text, a call. I let it ring. He called again. And again. On the 3rd try, I picked up. I was sick of the buzzing. He launched in immediately. "What the hell are you doing, Claire? You're trying to ruin my life." "I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth," I replied, my voice steady. "You didn't have to drag Curtis into this. You're being petty and vindictive and crazy," he yelled. "You're the one who started this, not me. You're obsessed. You need help." I actually laughed. "Get your own life together before talking about mine." He hung up. I expected to feel guilty, but I didn't. I felt weirdly calm. Veronica said, "You did the right thing." Sophia said he was projecting. Vincent texted, "Peter's freaking out. He says you ruined everything." My reply, "Good." And then it got even messy, eh? Gianna had met me. A full-on essay, all caps, starting with "How dare you?" And "This was none of your business, and you're just jealous because Peter picked me." I wasn't even mad. I just laughed. I replied, "I'm not jealous. I just don't like being lied to." She left me on read. Later that day, I went back to my apartment to grab some more clothes and found Peter waiting outside the door. Hands in his pockets, looking like a lost puppy. "What do you want?" I asked. "I just want to talk," he said. "Talk then. I didn't mean for it to go this far." "You mean getting caught?" I countered. You didn't have to involve Curtis. Maybe you should have thought of that before inviting your married ex to a hotel. He said I was making this worse. You already made it bad, I replied. I'm just making it fair. He tried to step closer, but I put my arm up, blocking him. Don't touch me. He recoiled. It got heated. He started blaming me for everything. Said I never listened, always made him feel trapped, that Gianna understood him in a way I never did. Then go be with her and leave me alone. I snapped. It's not that simple, he whined. It is for me. You're being cold. I'm being honest. I told him to leave. He slammed his hand against the wall, hard, and stormed off. Veronica called me a legend. I just wanted it to be over. Sophia came over that night with junk food and wine. We watched dumb reality TV, and she made me promise not to text him. Not even once. I promised. She said, "You're stronger than you think." I just wanted to be done. My mom called, worried, offering to come up. No, I said, I've got Veronica and Sophia. I'll be okay. You're allowed to be angry, she said. I know, I replied. I fell asleep on the couch and woke up to 10 missed calls from Peter. I didn't answer. The next day, Vincent texted again. Peter's telling everyone you're crazy and manipulative. Let him talk, I replied. The people who matter know the truth. Later that week, I got one last email from Curtis. It simply said, "Thank you. I appreciate it." That was it. This whole thing felt like I'd thrown a grenade into everyone's life, including my own. And yeah, I'm not exactly sorry about it. 3 days after that Curtis email, the story really started to blow up. Gianna had gone completely silent on her main account, but her old Instagram was alive with passive-aggressive quotes about betrayal and snakes. Very 2015 Tumblr, honestly. Sophia asked, "Do you think Curtis actually did anything?" I didn't know. Maybe he was just sitting with it. Men don't act until they see hard proof, she said. They always want to believe the best. I told her I'd given him everything I had. It wasn't my problem anymore. But I couldn't help wondering, what if he ignored it? What if nothing happened, and I just started a war for no reason? Later that night, Vincent texted, "I think you should know. Peter's locked out of the hotel. He's at my place." I stared at the phone. "Why is he at your place?" I typed. Vincent explained, Gianna's husband showed up at the hotel. Huge scene. Someone called security. He hadn't been there, but he'd heard enough. "Peter's blaming you for blowing everything up. But honestly, you did what you had to do." "Not my circus, not my monkeys," I replied. Veronica, eavesdropping from the kitchen, said, "I told you this would get messy." "Messier than this?" I challenged. She laughed. "He's going to try to twist it. Let him try." The next morning, my phone was absolutely blowing up. 3 missed calls from an unknown number. Peter, obviously, since I blocked him. 2 voicemails. A flood of DMs from randoms, mutuals, old friends. The story was out. Someone from Gianna's old friend circled me. "Why did you have to ruin her marriage?" I just deleted and blocked. I didn't owe anyone an explanation. I listened to one of Peter's voicemails. His voice was all over the place. First angry, accusing me of sabotaging him, then whining about how I always do this. Then a long pause, and he hung up. I could hear voices in the background. Vincent, maybe telling him to chill. I deleted it. I wasn't in the mood. That afternoon, I went back to my apartment. Veronica's place was nice, but I missed my stupid espresso machine. The building was eerily quiet. I was halfway through packing a bag when I heard a knock. Peter. I considered ignoring it, but he knocked again, louder. I opened the door a crack. "What do you want?" "Let me in, I just want to talk." "Nope." He tried to push the door. I pushed back. "Stop being childish. I just need to get my charger." "You already took it." "No, I need the black one." I sighed, grabbed a charger from a drawer, and tossed it into the hallway. He looked at me, eyes red. "You really had to do this, Claire." "Do what?" "Ruin everything, like you always do." "You ruined it yourself," I said. "Don't blame me." He stepped closer, so I stepped out and closed the door behind me, putting it between us. He raised his voice. "You're not going to get away with this. You're not going to scare me, so don't even try. You think you're so righteous, but you're just bitter because Gianna picked me." I laughed. "She picked you?" "Looks like nobody picked anybody." He got on my face, so I shoved him back. He stumbled, swore, and stormed down the hallway. I went back inside and slammed the door. I called Veronica. She was pissed. If he tries that again, call me. I'll come over. I can handle myself, I said. I know, she said, but I'm serious. Don't let him corner you. I promised. Sophia came by with takeout that night, and we sat on the couch, watching dumb shows, talking about anything but men. She told me people at her gym were gossiping about the hotel story. She was pretending not to know anything. Honestly, I said, it's kind of nice knowing people are finally talking about him, not just me. She said, you know he's going to try to spin it. Let him, I shrugged. You're colder than I thought, she observed. I'm just tired, I replied. 2 days later, a message from Gianna. Not a rant this time, just, hope you're happy. I didn't answer. Another email from Curtis. Thank you again. I replied, I'm sorry it had to be me. He never wrote back. Vincent texted, Peter is not okay. He's barely sleeping, drinking too much, blaming everyone but himself. What do you want me to do about it? I asked. Nothing, just you should know, he said. I never liked the way he talked about you anyway. Thanks for saying that now, I said. Yeah, I know. I should have said something before. It's fine. Then I ran into Gianna in the wild at the grocery store. She was in sunglasses, looking like she just crawled out of a magazine, but with dark bags under her eyes. I almost walked the other way, but she saw me. She marched right up. You did this on purpose? Maybe I did, I said. You're just jealous because we have something you never understood. Looks like you don't have it anymore, I replied. She slapped my arm. Not hard, but enough to make sound. Everyone in the aisle turned to look. I just stared at her. She walked off, muttering. I texted Veronica. Guess who I just ran into? You have all the luck, she replied. Later that night, Peter called again. I didn't answer. He sent long rants about how I'd ruined his life, how he couldn't go anywhere without being judged. I didn't know what it was like to be hated by everyone. I sent back one reply. You did this to yourself, not me. He called again, left another voicemail. This one was just him breathing, then hanging up. I blocked his number again. At this point, even Sophia asked, do you ever regret it? No, I said, not even a little. Maybe I wish it had been less public, but honestly, I'm glad she finally got what was coming to her. You're savage, she said. You have no idea. The next day, Veronica and I packed up the last of Peter's stuff. We dumped it in a box and left it in the lobby with a note. Come get it, or it's going in the trash. He texted Veronica, you're both insane. She replied, try us. He didn't show up. You should change your locks, Veronica advised. I'm already on it. I called the super, paid the ridiculous fee, and got new keys. That night, I finally slept through. Then, the weirdest thing happened. Silence. Actual silence. After the grocery store slap, there were 5 glorious days where my phone was dead. No angry rants, no late-night calls, not even a cryptic Instagram post. I actually started to think it was finally over. I could just go back to my boring life of meal prepping and doom scrolling. But then, out of nowhere, I got a notification, a voicemail from a weird number. I ignored it. Then another. By the end of the day, I had 4. I listened to one, just to make sure it wasn't some scam. But nope, it was Peter. And he sounded like a totally different person. Not angry, not even fake calm. Just weirdly desperate. Can we talk? He rasped. I'm sorry. I messed up. His voice kept catching. He sounded like he was crying or hungover. Probably both. I ignored all of them. Then he started texting Veronica. A new level of pathetic. She sent me screenshots. I need to talk to Claire, please. I just need 5 minutes. Veronica replied. You had your 5 minutes, remember? You wasted it. He tried to guilt her. You're her sister. How can you be so cold? She just sent him a thumbs up emoji. I tried to go about my life. I finally moved back into my apartment. The one thing I'll say for Peter is he never tried to break in or leave nasty stuff behind. Just a bunch of forgotten socks and a mug I hated. I cleaned everything. Changed the sheets. Threw out the leftover oat milk. Seriously, never again. The place felt weirdly empty, but also better. I got a pizza, put on a podcast, and just sat on the floor. It felt like reclaiming my own space. Then he started with the emails. Emails. Who does that? Every subject line was please, or can we talk, or I'm sorry. I didn't answer. One was an essay, rambling about how he wasn't thinking straight, how he just wanted to feel young again, how he never stopped loving me, blah, blah, blah. He even claimed he wasn't seeing Gianna anymore, that she'd ghosted him after Curtis found out. Said he deserved another chance. That everyone makes mistakes. I just scrolled, deleted, moved on. Veronica said he was just lonely now that everyone had dumped him. Sophia said he was trying every angle, guilt, nostalgia, even fake self-awareness. Vincent texted, "Peter's telling people you ruined his life, but nobody's really buying it anymore. What else is new?" I replied. Vincent said, "If he shows up at your place, call me." I will. The next escalation came on a random Tuesday afternoon. I was working at my table when I heard a knock. Peeking through the peephole, it was Peter. I considered ignoring it, but he knocked again, then sent a text. "I'm outside. Please, just 5 minutes." I opened the door a crack. "What do you want?" He looked at me, eyes all red. "I just need to talk." "Talk." And he started with the apologies again. "I know I screwed up. I lost everything. That's not my problem. You were the only one who ever actually cared about me. I miss you. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I just want a second chance." "You had a second chance," I said, my voice flat, and a third and a fourth. I was stupid. He tried to step closer. I put my hand on the door, keeping it between us. "Please, I'm begging you. Stop begging. It's gross." He tried to reach for my arm. I shoved his hand away. He swore, looking like he might cry, then just stood there awkwardly. "You should leave. I have nowhere to go. That's not my fault." He muttered something about me ruining everything. "Welcome to the club," I said and slammed the door shut. I texted Veronica. He showed up. "Wanting to come over?" "No, I'm fine. Let me know if he tries again." "I will." After that, it was just a steady drip of guilt trips and desperate messages. Voicemails at 2 a.m. Texts from new numbers. Even a Facebook message request. All the same stuff. "I miss you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll do anything." I blocked every number, every account. It's weird how fast you get used to hitting block. Vincent checked in, said Peter was basically persona non grata in their friend group now. Some people were mad at me for airing dirty laundry, but most were just tired of Peter's drama. Sophia said he was like a broken record. He'd eventually get bored and latch onto someone else. "Maybe," I said, "but I'm not giving him another chance to make me the villain." One night, at Veronica's for dinner, she asked, "Do you ever think about forgiving him?" "Not even a little," I replied. "Not even for closure." "Closure is a scam." She laughed. "You're colder than I remember." "I think I'm just done," I said. The last time Peter tried anything, he showed up at my building again. This time, I didn't answer the door. He waited for about 15 minutes, then left. Later, I found a note shoved under my door. It just said, "I'm sorry. I hope you find someone better." I threw it away. I got a message from Curtis out of nowhere. Just, "Hope you're doing better." "Yeah, thanks," I replied. That was it. I didn't ask what happened with Gianna. I honestly don't care anymore. It's been 3 weeks since the whole thing started, and I feel not happy exactly, but definitely lighter. I still see Peter lurking on his alt accounts, liking random old photos. But I went to brunch with Sophia. I bought myself a ridiculous plant. I started a new show and ended up hate watching all weekend. I'm not healed or whatever you're supposed to say, but I'm not angry anymore. Mostly just tired and a little bit proud. So, if you're listening to this and wondering if it's worth it to blow everything up to get your own back, I don't know, maybe not always. But sometimes when someone spends months making you feel crazy and small, the best thing you can do is show them you're not, and then just walk away. I never thought I'd be that girl, but I am. To be honest, I think I did okay. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever been through something like this? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really want to know.